All right. So today we have Farza from buildspace to talk about how to learn Web3 and Solidity. So thank you for being here.
No problem.
First of all, do you mind introducing yourself?
Yeah, my name is Farza. I am the founder of buildspace, which is the world's largest network of Web3 developers. Before buildspace, I used to do stuff in gaming, self-driving cars, deep learning, a bunch of stuff. But yeah, I'm just a hacker. I've been hacking since I was a child. So that's it.
So I want to start with the very basics. What's Web3?
What's Web3? Probably a different definition based on who you ask. But to me, Web3 is, if we get to the most concrete example, it's someone interacting with a chain. Someone interacting with a chain. Yeah, that's it. It doesn't matter if it's on Ethereum. It doesn't matter if it's on Solana, Avalanche. It doesn't matter what blockchain it's on. It's someone like you, or someone like my dad, or someone like my little brother, doing something that interacts with the blockchain, whether that be a game, whether that be trading crypto, anything. So that to me is Web3. And there's a lot you can do on top of that because blockchain is owned by nobody, right? So at the very basic level, concrete level, that's how I kind of describe it to people, which of course gets complicated. They don't know what the blockchain is, but you can always explain that as well if needed.
Yeah. So the idea is you can build pretty much anything on Web3, but it's decentralized, right?
Yes, exactly. Kind of a cool little example here. One of my friends who I work at this company with, he used to have run Instagram, auctions. So you can buy and sell Instagram profiles. So his company was like a middleman, right? A big influencer would come in and give them their profile credentials, and then buyer would come in and buy the profile credentials, and he's the trusted middleman, and he passes off that Instagram profile, right? But now he's not even needed. These two can just interact directly with each other. Kind of a basic escrow example that is tossed around. But yeah, there's also so many cool examples but yeah, that's like the most basic finance example. There's tons of examples to go through in the world of gaming, the world of social networks, etc. So that's one example of how decentralization could be net useful.
Nice. So if people want to learn more about Web3 and if they want to start building on Web3, what do you think? What's a good first step for that?
I think it depends on who you are. If you're a developer, designer, marketer, but let's just say you're a developer, and you know JavaScript, right? I think that's really all you need. You understand one language pretty well. Let's just say that's JavaScript, and you build some web apps here and there. You're kind of in the perfect spot to kind of hop into this stuff at this point. And honestly, you can probably start on YouTube, just typing in how to build a web. Actually, I wouldn't even start. I think that's probably the bad advice. I think the right advice here is think about something you want to build, and just have the idea, and then work backwards from that idea. I personally think that a lot of the tutorials, a lot of the videos out there are all kind of bad, or all courses, things like that, because it kind of puts you in a box, right? And you're new to Web3. You want to explore your horizons, but you're being kept on this little lane here. And I think it's really up to you to kind of figure out, to get inspired by existing projects that you see are interesting, and to kind of build something really basic by yourself that you can use with your friends. And yeah, I guess buildspace is one of the good ones here too, for that reason, because we give you kind of nice little projects that you can be really creative on. So
right. Yeah, we should definitely talk more about buildspace later, but would you suggest people learn about specific examples on Twitter or something, or maybe somewhere else?
Let's see. Honestly, I just think the Ethereum Docks are the best place to go. I think people should probably go nobody. But the Ethereum Docks are by far the best place to get into Web3. It has start to finish. It's the book about how to get into this stuff. It's far from boring, and it's a lot of text, right? But I think if you're looking for a place to get into Web3, it's the Ethereum Docks. It starts at the very top level, what is blockchain, and it goes all the way down to what is Ethereum, what is Ethereum 2.0? How do you build like an NFT? Like everything, right? So that's where I would go first. And after that, after that you have all the powers that you need to kind of explore.
Right.
Yeah, that's where I started at least. So
nice. Would you suggest Solidity for people?
Yeah, so like Solidity, I think like Solidity is a language on which, EVM based smart contracts are deployed or built. But I think just people should just ignore Solidity, like at learning Solidity or knowing what it is. They should just hop into writing a smart contract. And over time, like I said, as long as you know one language pretty concretely, I think you'll kind of fall in line with Solidity pretty quickly. So that's kind of my, there are resources out there to learn Solidity, but I'm also like not of the mindset of you should learn a programming language until like you really, really want to like learn the very specifics of it and get down to the depths. But I think at the start here, I would kind of tell people, hey, go write your first smart contract, get it running, maybe make some adjustments to it. And then as you do that, get more into Solidity. Like the Solidity docs are fantastic. And this ecosystem is really early. So learning Solidity really just means looking at the docs and implementing features into your own programs that you think are interesting. Kind of like you want to learn Python, right? It's like, there's not really one place, like you can learn Python syntax, but you're not going to know how to like write Python, right? You just kind of know how Python works. And that's cool. So there's many resources for that out there. You can just quickly look that up. But I think if you really want to learn Solidity, you just got to throw yourselves in the underwater. It's a pretty new language, right? It's like 4 years old or something like that. Like, well, I guess 1.0 came out, like 1.0 is not even out yet, but it's like a pretty new language. So new that 1.0 isn't out.
Right. So I'm thinking, maybe you can share your screen for this part. Yeah. But like, I'm kind of imagining someone watching this interview, right? And they're like, okay, I need to go to the Ethereum doc, maybe learn Solidity later. Like, and if they ask you like, oh, what do I type exactly? Like, which page do I look at exactly? What would you show them?
This is, I mean, honestly, I just show them buildspace. I think that no one's better. I don't know where else I guess if I had to pick one, it'd just be Ethereum docs. I don't know where else I'd go. I think this industry is so new that there's so few reputable sources. But I can sort of share my screen, kind of go over something. So Ethereum. So I started kind of my journey right here, Intro to Ethereum. This link right here. I think this is where everyone should kind of start their process. You kind of need to just know what the heck this all is before you kind of get into it. It's pretty hard to just start coding up smart contracts if you don't know what a smart contract is or why it's even useful. So these kind of like things right here, everything from Intro to Ethereum to consensus mechanisms, I just read that all in like real quick in like 3 hours one day. And I kind of went through, and they have tons of different videos in here as well to help you understand this stuff. I think that's like it says foundational topics. That's like the very top level. I probably would just spend like 2 hours max on this. From there, you actually have like the Ethereum stack, right? They don't even talk about Ethereum until they get past the foundational topics. So then, yeah, they get pretty into the stack itself and how this stuff works. So before you even end up like doing Solidity, you can kind of understand how to just like what it is, and then how to set up your local machine, and then finally like smart contracts. What is it? How do I make it? What's a basic smart contract to create? This is all stuff that I did like when I first started. And I did, of course, have like friends that I would lean on to like who knew more than me to help me out here. And there's so many different Ethereum communities out there to help with this stuff. And the Ethereum Discord itself is awesome. So highly recommend going there. There's like 10 places to go. But I think my favorite one is, I think it's somewhere here. Oh, under community, you go to Ethereum community. There's like there's a couple of forums and there's a couple of chat rooms that you can go into. I like this one, Crypto Devs Discord. There's tons of them. Ethereum Hackers. This is probably the most official one. And yeah, you kind of just go in there, you ask questions. That's It's exactly what I did when I first started. So, and then I kind of got more advanced from there. But yeah, that's about it.
Nice. Did you want to show build space?
Yeah, sure. So I think buildspace is only good if you know just one language. You have to know one language decently well. I think if you don't know any programming, it is a bit difficult to kind of hop into this stuff, because this is probably not. I think Solidity in like this world isn't even like a good language to start at. I'd probably start with like some like JavaScript, just JavaScript basics. There's tons of those out there in the world today. But I kind of started at JavaScript and get like a handle on JavaScript, and then kind of jump into this Solidity stuff. But let's just assume that you already know JavaScript. You're already like on Replit or something. You're building like you're building web apps on whatever you're just building stuff, right? I think the best next step for you is just to go to this thing on buildspace where we just teach you Solidity. It's like the very, very intro to like how to like build a basic dApp, a decentralized application. And yeah, this is probably the most. This is cool because we give you a community as well. So you'll get a community, you'll get like good like a kind of like a structured content, and you'll actually earn like an NFT at the end to kind of show off that you got this. So it's kind of a cool way to hop into Web3 if you know basic web dev. But yeah, if you don't care about build space, that's cool. This is why the Ethereum Docks exist, because they're also just as simple. I know a lot of people are scared of like these like big essays docs. But yeah, they're so friendly. So
right. No, actually, I think people would be interested in build space, because I know you have a lot of users already, or learners, whatever you call them. And
yep, we have a lot of users.
Yeah, I'm curious what it looks like once people are inside.
Oh yeah, so build space is the simplest thing that you can possibly imagine. It is nothing special. It is literally just a bunch of markdown files. So you go to build space, you hop into the Solidity project, you link your Discord. So this is kind of the cool part. The tough part about Web3 today is like when you have questions, or when you have like, when you have questions, when you need someone to lean on, right? To even ask something simple like, hey, this NPM module is not installing. Like, you can't just Google these questions. That's the core problem right now. So we give you access to like these secret channels here. So I can kind of go to my Discord. Please ignore my notifications. It's very intense. And for example, we can go to like this project here. Yeah, so you can kind of see like we have different like categories of cohorts. So essentially, when you join BuildSpace, you join a cohort, right? So for example, this is the game cohort. So you have a general chat here. People, it's kind of a smaller group of like 500 to 1,000 people who have questions. They can kind of like, they can get access to our TAs who can help you out. You can kind of post your progress as well, like what you're up to, what you're building. There's Elon Musk. And yeah, there's like different help channels associated with what you need help on. So I think the cool part about BuildSpace is like, you have the content, you can kind of go through like the actual core, like we'll call them lessons, and understand how they work, and understand like how this stuff works in like a pretty structured way. But then you can also get access to the community. And then, we try to make it where these projects, you can kind of make your own. We don't tell you what to make. We're like, don't copy us in this situation. Like, make sure that you do something different. Otherwise, we will be angry at you. Nice. So we're pretty focused on like getting people to actually separate themselves from everybody else in small ways. Something as basic as like changing a log sounds dumb, right? But just doing that in Solidity by yourself, it gives you slightly more confidence. It gives you slightly more confidence to like push yourself. This is true for someone who works at Google. This is true for someone who's just like in high school learning how to program. Like it's true for everyone. It's true for me as well. So yeah, that's BuildSpace.
All right, 2 questions about it. How much does it cost, and how do you make money?
Cool. So buildspace is cost $0. You come on here, you join the Discord, and you're good to go. Now, how in question? It depends when you ask us. If you asked us 4 weeks ago, it would have been different than how we make money today. But one of the top ways that we make money is that we help the people within buildspace actually get hired. So we are partnered with about like 35 Web3 companies. And these Web3 companies are looking to hire people from the buildspace networks. These are all our partners. You as an engineer or as a developer can come and be like, oh, like I like this company, Alchemy. They seem cool. I want to see if they'll accept me for their front end role. You can like Alchemy, and Alchemy will then they have their own little dashboard. They can kind of see who you are, your profile, etc. Which is pretty cool. And your profile looks pretty simple. It's just like your LinkedIn, your past projects on buildspace, the NFTs that you own, etc. So yeah, this is probably one of the ways we make money today. But everything's free for people to come learn.
That's awesome. You use Replit in your course, right?
Yeah, I can kind of show that a little bit,
Sure.
but I think one of the core problems with Web3 today is it's really hard to like get set up. And right now we only use Replit for front end stuff, but we're moving towards using Replit for like everything. Because setting up your environment is actually like pretty difficult. So for example, maybe you're taking this Solidity project, right? I think you started with Replit like somewhere like right. Where is it? Let's remember the websites. Oh, Site-based React. Yeah. So we just like link people like a basic Replit link. They can fork, right? So you can just click this link. We let you fork like a really basic boilerplate project, and then you add all your magic after that, which is pretty great. So people could literally just click here, click fork, and start working on this little project here. But yeah, we also give the option to like, if you don't want to do that, you could just like pull it down locally and do whatever you want.
Do you want to go into the REPL and like show us some of the code?
Yeah. It's nothing special, this REPL in particular, because this is the boilerplate project. So this has nothing special other than like the, yeah, I'm just going to show the files. But this is just like a boilerplate project. Nothing to really show here, other than like the initial starter project. It is kind of cool to see maybe what you can, for example, something that people have deployed. So we can actually just go here real quick and kind of show you something. If I go to progress here, I can kind of see all the different things that people are deploying, right? This is just one cohort. And I can kind of see like all the different things people are working on, people are building. I can even command F replit. Like, let's just go scroll to the bottom. So we have to go to showcase. Showcase is where like all the final kind of things are, and kind of see everything people are deploying. So you kind of see, this just makes it really easy to actually get stuff out in prod. And it's up to people like what they want to use, right? Whether it be replits, whether it be Vercel, whatever it is. So yeah.
Do some of them end up like making money with their NFTs?
Yeah. So I can start sharing my screen here. But yeah, essentially, we've had about 15 people actually launch their own like NFT projects, like legit NFT projects, which is kind of awesome. But I think the main way people make money is by actually getting hired. And we also offer contract opportunities to our network. So if you do buildspace, you have some skills now, right? You can probably actually do some bounty work with some of our partners. So that's another way. And yeah.
Yeah, that's super cool. It's like the way I see buildspace is kind of like a combination of, free code camp and Lambda School, or like I guess they have a different name now. Like all of these different things, but it's new too.
Yeah. We're really new, and we're constantly like changing things and trying to provide value to like people in different ways. So I think we're pretty focused right now on just like helping devs jump to Web3, because I think that's good. That's good for everyone, because the industry is so brand new and it's so tiny. that it's going to need a lot more people in the next 5-10 years for sure.
Nice. All right. I feel like we can, end this call soon and maybe do a second one at some point.
Sure. Sounds good.
But one last question for you. Like, do you have any idea about like Web3's going in the future?
Yeah. Maybe that question's easier to answer if like something specific. Because I think Web3 in general, like it's just so many different sectors, like from gaming to social networks to like DeFi. So it's a tough question to answer. But I think in general though, Web3 is like, it allows different, what's supposed to say this? I think generally people, the people will generally adopt Web3 over time. It'll become a lot more, for example, today, it may not be obvious why you like jump into Web3. Like it may not be obvious to my dad. It may not be obvious to my little brother who's like in college today, right? Who kind of knows about crypto, knows about Coinbase, but that's about it. I think over time though, it's going to become a lot more obvious because Web3 is inherently a model of ownership around products that it's a model of ownership around like one, your data, and two, around like the products you interact with. So for example, I play League of Legends today. I buy a skin on League of Legends. I'm dedicated to this like company, right? I can't leave this company now. I can't take this anywhere else. But I think Web3 is innately cool because you own everything that you do on the internet and you can take that wherever you want. And some people might say, oh, well, that's bad because then these companies who made the original value don't get anything out of it. But there are incentive mechanisms with which those original companies can actually get more long-term value out of things. And yeah, I just think that Web3 in general is an inherently different model of using the internet that relies on ownership. It's like you literally own everything that you do. And what is possible with that? Well, we're just seeing the beginnings of it now, right? Whether it be NFTs or whether it be like owning the currency, you can see what's happened now with people owning their own currencies and having full control over the currencies that they own. You can already see how like that's changed. Changed stuff so hard, so much already. So yeah. I just think overall this stuff's gonna like become a lot more applicable to like normal people over time. But today it's only applicable to like the hackers of the world.
Yeah. Actually, one more last question before you go.
Sure.
Like, how do you see different chains like Bitcoin versus Ether versus like other blockchains?
Yeah. I think that like different chains are net good for the world. So the more chains, the better. I think developers should have full control over what chains they want to use. So like depending on their use case, right? Kind of like today, you might use Node for some use case. You might use Go for another use case. You might use Python for another use case. So it all depends on what you're kind of doing. I think it'd be bad if only one chain won. That'd be kind of odd. I think leaving it up to developers is one of the most important things right now, and making sure that like we simply use each chain based on what it's good at. So for example, people on Ethereum are always kind of talking about these high gas prices, right? And I think that's one, like for sure, that's like a complaint, and it's like not good. But I think Ethereum is also the most secure chain out there. Like nobody is worried about the security of Ethereum. So yeah, maybe it doesn't make sense to like send $5 on Ethereum today, but it makes sense on other chains, right? And then you should just go use those other chains and use what Ethereum is good for, which is like high value, highly secure transactions. So that's kind of my take on it. And I think the kind of the thing that's weird about this is that today these chains aren't talking to each other much. So if I build my product on Ethereum and the user wants to use Solana, that should be possible, but that's not, because those are called bridges. So you have to actually create like a bridge between this product, this chain and this chain. So that to me is what's super, super important to like be wary of. And there's tons of companies solving this today. I think the problem of bridges. But then this is kind of a beautiful world, right? Where like developers can choose whatever tool they want, and then users can essentially keep their credentials, their data, whatever it is, on whatever chain they want. They can kind of move it wherever they want. And I think that's going to be probably the future we're heading towards, hopefully.
Cool. Yeah, thanks a lot. I feel like I learned a lot on this call.
Oh, nice. Heck yeah.
All right.
Well, epic, dude. I'm glad I could help. This stuff's
Really
crazy.
Yeah, really appreciate it. All right. I guess I'll talk to you at some point, Farza.
Cool. See ya.
Bye.